Most people think the reason why their customers aren't actually buying their service is because their price is too high, their pitch isn't good enough, or their objection handling isn't up to standard. Well, my name is Mark. I'm the founder of Close Loop. I've taken 3,500 sales calls. I've cash collected over 2 million in upfront payments, and I've worked with over 80 agencies. I've built a value framework, and it's an acronym for every single step that you need to do in actually following a sales process. From someone getting on a call with you to going the whole way through and paying you money. Today is the first step of the first 5 minutes of an actual discovery call. Everything that you need to do, how to set the frame, and how to actually get someone bought in to your sales process without sounding sleazy or salesy at all. So let's get into it. This is part 4 of the free course. Let's go. Okay. So as I said, this is the value framework. Now, as you can see here, I've covered it over so we can actually go through step by step, all of them. Yes, in this video, I'm going to talk through what each of these actually mean. So therefore you have an idea of what the actual next videos are. So that therefore you can see whether they're actually applicable to you. Now, for the value framework, this is something that I have actually worked on quite a lot recently, and it's something I actually work a lot with my clients on, because if you can nail this whole exact process, you will make a lot more money. I actually had a call with someone there the other day who watched, I think it was part 2 of this free course about booking LinkedIn calls and stuff like that. They actually booked a couple of calls from it, and they have sales calls coming up this week, which is really cool. So people are getting value from it. So just pay attention. If you have any questions, by all means, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. More than happy to help anyone who needs it. You don't have to pay me money, by the way. So, value. To start out, this is vision and setting the frame. And this is where most of this call is actually going to be around, which is the actual first 2 to 3 minutes of a call, and how do you actually get someone to buy in without sounding sleazy or like someone off an Instagram reel. Vision and set the frame. A stands for ask, which is the discovery questions. L stands for land, show them the value. U stands for underline, make them underline your name. And E stands for embed, lock in the decision. Let's walk through these one by one. Vision is setting the frame. So whenever you come onto a call, and I'm not going to talk about all of these in massive detail, but I'm going to explain to you why I've chosen these 5 points. Not only just because they actually land into a full acronym. Yes, that's probably one of the reasons, I'm not going to lie to you, but equally is because they're very, very important. And if you can hit each one of these, your buyer's journey will go a lot smoother, and you'll actually not only sign more people, you will actually have better clients. So therefore, your retention will go a lot longer if you're getting retainers. The vision, which is pretty much the first 5 minutes of a call. You come in, you build rapport, and you actually set the frame of what is actually going to happen in today's meeting. After that, you have ask, which is the discovery questions. Most of the clients that I work with and most of the people that I speak with actually come on and don't really have a full list of questions that you want to ask or need to know about a person before they get on a call. So, but I'm going to make a video about this next one, the ask in the next video. But if you don't have a set of questions and you're watching this video, please write down 5, 6, 7, 8 questions and bring them into your next discovery call so that you can come prepared. Next one, which is land, show the value. This is very, very important so the price doesn't come up at the end of the call. Pretty much how much value does your service actually help them and making them money, which is underline, which is essentially making them underline your name. You've just showed them a problem. Why would they not just go to 10 other different people and go see whether they can fix their problem for cheaper? Well, you need to actually get them to make their decision and show that you are the expert. And E, which is lock in the decision. This is very much your onboarding processes, stuff like that. So this is the value framework. Vision, set the frame, first 5 minutes. Ask, roughly between 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. Land, which is then, if you're doing a 2 call, your second call. If it's not, and you're doing a 1 call, which is then just fall straight into the ask the discovery questions. It's not, you just pretty much just try and sell. You actually make it make sense with the ask. Tell me if I'm going too fast, or tell me if I'm sounding a bit too crazy. Send me a message. Underline, make them underline your name. You've just pretty much showed them all the value that you can portray. So why would they think that you're the only person that can actually help them? There's bound to be someone else that can help them. And embed, make them lock in a decision once they have that with their full onboarding processes, with the first, 2-3 months or first 1-2 weeks, whatever way you actually do your processes. Make sure that they don't just pay money and then they go poof and gone. They don't hear from you from a week or 2 weeks. Yes, it might sound crazy. That's very, very true. And I've heard a lot of people with those problems. Now, for this video, we're going to cover the vision, which is setting the frame. Most of you who are watching this are probably on LinkedIn. If you're not, you'll be on TikTok, Instagram, you're on YouTube right now. What is the most important thing of a LinkedIn post, a YouTube video, an Instagram post, all of these things? Well, it's the first sentence. It's the first 10 seconds. It's the first 5 seconds. And what is that called? It is called the hook. Let's walk through some of these here, and you can actually see a couple of creators on LinkedIn. I'm not a creator, but I just put mine in there for reference. But you can see there, Misha Collins. I've actually worked with Misha. Misha is a lovely, lovely woman and absolutely great for LinkedIn content. Give her a follow and tell her that you came from me. You can see here, I'm sharing 5 LinkedIn posts that always work, and I want you to steal them. That is such a good hook, because it's actually getting someone to go, oh, free value. I want to see more about that. Now, Oscar Owen, YouTube strategist. You can see here, massive credibility in his banner straight out of the gate, but 0 to 20,000 followers on LinkedIn in 6 months, massive credibility. That's what Cleo did for me on Saturday. I thank Lara Costa, a massive creator on LinkedIn, massive credibility. So therefore, and you can see there, I got to thank Lara for more. What did he thank Lara about? It's in getting someone to actually come in and buy into this. Next one, mine. Nearly every objection is a discovery failure. It's pretty much why I'm doing this video. I hear the same sentence nearly every week. What is the same sentence I hear? Well, you need to go to that LinkedIn post and click more to see what that was about. Next one, Harry Foku. If I ever start over with a fresh LinkedIn account, these are the 3 types of posts I'd start with right away. He's a content strategist as well. Also, he hosts events. Another great guy. I've worked with him myself, and he is fantastic at hosting and doing podcasts and stuff like that. You should look him up. Very, very good guy. But equally, he's giving free value to someone on LinkedIn about posting on LinkedIn. Someone wants to click in, see more about it. So this is the rough idea. And really what you're doing is you're pretty much telling someone within the first 1 to 2 lines, 5 to 10 seconds, exactly what this video is about, this post is about, what's going to happen within the next 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes, 2 days, 2 weeks. Now, how does this actually fill in to a discovery call? Because what is the whole point of a hook? It's to get someone's attention. Now, you need to remember, and you will see so many people out there on Instagram, I'm just going to say it, pretty much telling you need to say to someone, so why did you take time out of your day to speak to me? Or, so what made you book in a call? Or something along those lines. Really what you're doing here is you're losing your frame and you're losing your authority inside that call. And it falls back in the last video I done, which is super, super important, which is the 7-38-55 rule, which is the percentage communication. If you actually come onto this call and you show someone that you know exactly what you're talking about with the tonality, with the confidence in what you're speaking, they know straight away. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to come off very confrontational, if I could say that, in the first 30 seconds, 2 minutes. So, hey Brian, how's it going? Hopefully you had a fantastic day. Just tell me, why did you take 30 minutes out of your day to speak to me? Whoa. That's far, far, far too aggressive. Always start the call, get a bit of rapport going. It's something that I always tell the guys that I work with, focus on the first 5 minutes. Don't sound like, I actually say a saying, I'm not going to say it on this, but there's a funny saying, you walk into a bar. You don't walk into your bar with, you've probably heard of, but that's a very, very true statement, where you don't want to walk into a bar with things hanging out. They've never been on your call before. They don't know what good looks like. So they don't know how you run your calls. They don't know how you do your discovery calls. They don't know how you do your sales calls. They've maybe been on hundreds of other calls, but they've never been on yours. So don't take it for granted that they know what's actually going to happen on this call. I see this all the time. So therefore, what I mean is, You need to tell them step by step what's going to happen. Let me explain. Here is a very brief idea of how you should be conducting your first couple of minutes. Now, obviously the ones I work with, I build full custom ones out for, and just like yourself, you can take this, you can mess around with it. I would personally put in a lot more credibility into this, but this is exactly what the thesis should be. And you can take a screenshot it and use it. So I only have X minutes left here. So let me quickly outline how these calls normally go. Sound good? Yes. That's buy-in number 1. Today is all about you, what you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't, and actually where you're looking to go. Then if I actually feel like I can help you, I'll go away, crunch some numbers and build you a full custom roadmap of how we could work together within 72 hours. Then we'll hop back on, we'll walk through it together and decide if it's the right fit. Sound good? Buy-in number 2. Obviously, I stumble words there, but equally, what you want to be doing is you want to very much get this very smooth, where they know, okay, what's actually happening within this call. Let's actually break down what's going on inside this call. I know there's only 37 minutes left, or I know there's only 15 minutes left, or I know we only have 27, 45, whatever it is. First of all, I always book either your first call with someone, either 30 minutes or 45. My preference is 45 because if you're a talker, you want that bit of extra time. No one ever books a call at 3:45. They always book a call either at past or on the hour. And whenever you're getting in a good conversation with someone, you don't want that to be cut short at past. You would rather have that extra 15 minutes with someone to actually get a bit more rapport built and have a bit more of a laugh with someone, especially if you're getting into the reason why they're on the call and stuff like that. That's a pro tip. Always book your calls for 45 minutes. Unless book them for 15 minutes if they're not qualified beforehand. Next one. So I only have 37 minutes left, so let me quickly outline how these calls normally go. Sound good. Why is sound good important and why is it said like that? Well, the reason why it's said sound good is because sound good, it's an assumptive yes. They want to say yes. Yeah, I want to know how these calls normally go. And they say yes without even thinking about it. So you get buy-in number 1. Today is all about you, what you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't, and where you're looking to go. Now, the reason why it's so important to do this is you're pretty much telling them, don't ask me discovery questions. Today is all about you, what you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't worked. So that's super important. Then, if I think we can help, I'll go away and I'll crunch some numbers and build you a custom roadmap of how we could actually work together within 72 hours. This is super important. Because if I personally think that I can help you, then I'll go away and do it. You can add wee things in. If I personally feel like I can help you, and only if I feel like I can help you, what I'll do is I'll go away and I'll build you a full custom roadmap of everything that we'd work together on. Inside the next 72 hours, we can go through it. So that's the whole idea. The whole point of that second bullet point is you're not pitching them on this call. All you're doing is gathering information to figure out, can you even help this person? Then you're going to go away, you're going to build them a full roadmap of how they're actually going to get closer to their goals, and they're going to want to hop on that second call to see it. Because then you can see, we can hop back on a call, walk through it together, and decide then if it's the right fit. Sound good. Second buy-in. This here is pretty much saying that today is not a sales call. All I'm doing is gathering information from you right now. Then I'm going to build you a full roadmap of how I think we can get you towards your goals. That's going to be a full playbook. Then we hop back onto the next call, and then we can walk through all of that playbook together and decide if it's the right fit. The reason why decide if it's the right fit is very important because you're telling them they need to make a decision on the next call. So then you get less, I need to think about it. Once they do that, then I normally go into a lot of credibility. So tell me, how much do you actually know about myself here at Closed Loop? Or how much do you actually know about things like your company name? Or how much do you actually know about me? All of this. And they'll say, oh, not much, maybe a wee bit. Things like that. Or, I've been watching your YouTube for a while. I actually had someone the other day, when was that? Last Tuesday, say that to me. So that was pretty cool. Say that he's been watching my YouTube and stuff. So you want to know where they came from, what sort of background they know about you. No matter what it is, you tell them the whole thing. So you say, well, listen, we've been running this for X amount of time. We've worked with X amount of clients. We bet a story about yourself. Some of the clients have got X result, Y result. and the reason why we do all of this, yada, 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 your story. Then once you do that, all of that should pretty much take, let's say, 3 to 5 minutes, something around there, depending on how long you make it. Don't make it any longer than 5 minutes. Please don't. What you want to be doing then is you say, okay, so now you know a wee bit around me. Tell me a wee bit around yourself. The whole point of this is you've set the whole frame. You've given all of your credibility. So you've went first with this, which is super important. Then you get them to talk about themselves. They subconsciously talk with the same amount of length that you've done all of this for, and pretty much word vomit all of the information that you need to know. Then you're straight into your discovery questions. Now, I don't want these videos to be too long, so I'm going to cover the discovery questions and how I do my discovery questions and the reason why I do it that way and the acronyms and stuff for that. Yes, we're going to have another acronym in the next video. Okay, so it's actually the next day and I realized that my YouTube skills just aren't up to scratch because the recording actually cut off. Apologies for that, but just as a quick outro, hopefully that video was valuable for you. If you need some advice on what's a good hook and stuff like that, go back and actually see why you stuck around to watch this video at the very start. You know, the first 5, 10, 15 seconds of that, go through all of your old LinkedIn posts and stuff like that and all big creators on LinkedIn and see why you read their posts, why you engage with them, stuff like that. I'll give you a few ideas, then start to actually build out a framework for your actual introduction. I promise your sales calls and your discovery calls will go so much smoother whenever you set the frame. But as I said, next video is going to be all on discovery questions. How do you actually get what the information that you need to know out of that person? And without further ado, go close that loop and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.